Okay, so first of all, we're going to talk about correlation coefficient, which is the letter R. It's a measure of how well a data set is fit by a model. In other words, it tells you that how well that data fits a line. Okay, so if it's closer to -1, like negative 0.95 here, or positive 1.95 here, then all of the data points are going to be really close to a line. Okay, all of them in a row. Where if it's like -0.6 or positive 0.6, then you can still see that it has a negative correlation with the negative or the positive correlation with the positive one, but it's pretty scattered. Okay, and then if you got one that really doesn't have a correlation, that's everything's all over the place, might be 0. But the correlation coefficient, when we get farther into this and when you take Algebra C, that's very important because it tells you sometimes whether one model is going to be a better fit than a different one. So in other words, we'll be looking at like quadratics and cubics and like that, and how close our value of R is to 1 or -1 is going to tell us which model is going to fit best. And so it tells somebody who's like a statistician, say, okay, this is what we should use to do predictions from because it's a better model. Okay. All right, so let's take this data right here. Okay. And did we use these numbers yesterday? Did we? Okay, are these in your calculator right now? Just deleted it? Okay, well, let's go through it. So here we have an anthropologist can use the femur or thigh bone to estimate the height of a human being. The table shows the results of a randomly selected sample. So we go to Stat and Edit to put the numbers in a list. Oh, yep, we did. They're already there. Okay, so these were the numbers we were working with yesterday. Okay? All right, so we'll give those of you who don't have it in there a chance to put it in. All right, so these are going to be in your list 1, and these are in list 2. So all of your calculators are preset to do a scatter plot. Okay? So to do our scatter plot then, we want to go to our y equals, and we want our plot 1 to be on. So from your y equals, you can just go up to it, hit enter so that it's highlighted. Okay, so you want plot 1 to be highlighted on your y equals. And then if we press zoom and number 9, I'm just going to scroll down there. Okay, it says zoom stat here because it's zoom for statistics. And then you hit enter. It makes a window that fits that data perfectly then. Okay. Okay. What's that? Oh, okay. All right. We got a problem here. I'll take care of it. There you go. Okay. All right. Whoa. 27, 30, 38, 35, 29, 46, 32, 36. I don't know what I did over here. Okay. All right, so now press zoom 9. There you go. Okay, great. Okay, yep. All right. So now we're going to go to Stat and over to Calc. And then we can do a lot of different regression here. Okay. And we're going to do linear regression number 4. Okay. So now it says list 1 is your X list. List 2 should be your Y list. And don't worry about frequency lists, but we want to store this line, the equation in Y1. So we're going to go down to where it says store regression equation, and if I press alpha and trace, it puts me at Y1 there, and I can do that. And then just hit enter to go down to calculate, and hit enter for it to do the calculations. So this tells us then So now this tells us the equation for the line that's the best fit line for that data. So I would write down y equals 2.91x plus 54.04. That would be the equation for the line that fits it best. Now, they want us to find the correlation coefficient. Okay, that's the value of r. So the value of r here, the correlation coefficient is 0.986. We're going to go ahead and use 3 decimal places. Okay, now this is really close to 1, which means that those data points are a really good fit. So if I hit graph now, we can see that the line goes through quite a few of the points. All right, and it's a very good fit for that set of data. Okay. I know you don't. What didn't work? Okay. If you do it right, it works.
No, you can just try.
I did it right. See, it works. Mine works.
Okay, so we got number 4.
Yeah.
Okay, did you put Y1 here?
Yeah. I put
Alpha, trace,
and enter.
and enter.
See?
And then it doesn't work.
It's not broken.
But it didn't work.
Oh. See?
Come on.
These things don't like me. I should sit in another place.
List 1, list 2. Oh, hold on. Okay, hold on. Okay, does anybody not have R show up on their calculator?
Oh, mine doesn't do it.
Oops, now hit graph. Okay, if yours, if your R did not show up, how many people did not have R on theirs?
Mine screwed up.
Okay. Okay, if you don't have R, then go to mode. Okay. And then go down to the second page where it says Stat Diagnostics, and you want to make sure that's on. Stat Diagnostics need to be on. Oh, so we did Stat and Calc, number 4. Trace.
Oh, there we go.
You got it now? Okay. All right. Okay, now, well, we'll do another one, so, and then we'll spend another day on this, but that's okay. All right? All right, a man's femur is 41 centimeters long. It says predict the man's height. Okay? So the femur, is that, if it's 41, is that the length of is that X or Y? Okay? The femur length is X. So we can use our calculator then to find when X is 41, we want to find the value for Y. That'll tell us how tall the person is. So if you go to you could go to the table, or you could go to trace. Now you notice that when I hit trace, it says P1 here. What does that mean? The plot. That means it's working with the data points. If you go up or down arrow, which I'll go down arrow, if you go down arrow, it now says Y1, which is the line. Okay? And if you type in 41 from here, okay, it'll tell you that they would be 173.5 centimeters tall. Okay? And you could also find that by going, if I go to my table, which is second graph, and you could go down until you get to 41 also to be able to find that number. Well, there's actually a shortcut. You can go second window, and you can tell it where to start and what you're going by. Okay? Some of the things that we need to spend more time on is messing with those types of things. Okay? All right? So let's look at another one. Okay, here we have a meteorology application. It says the following data on average temperature and rainfall for 8 months in Boston, Massachusetts. Okay, so we're going to put this data in our list. So the first thing we want to do is when we put this data in our list so we're going to go back to Stat and Edit. And the first thing we want to do is clear all of our data out. So go to the list number and press clear and enter, and that'll get rid of everything that was in your list. And we want to clear both list 2 and list 1. Whenever you put data in there, new data in, always make sure you clear out the old data. Don't type over it. Because if you don't have as many numbers, it'll mess up your data. You go to the list number, so go all the way up to where it says L1, and then press clear and enter. Okay? All right? So we're going to put the temperature in degrees Fahrenheit. I know that messes you up too, Ruth. In list 1. You know what is warm, what is cold? You know it's cold outside today? It's warmer than yesterday? Oh, okay, so it's warm. Okay? Sorry, I'm just moving it so I can see it too. So, okay, 29, 30, 39, 48. And for those of you who have a hard time with finding equations of lines, okay, I'm going to tell you this right now, okay, that this is a way you could do it. So it's really important that you're able to do this because you could actually help yourself out, because if you have 2 points, you could put the x's in x, the y's in y's, do linear regression, and it would tell you the equation of the line. Okay? Okay. You have to have a high GPA. Okay, does everybody have the data in their list? Okay. Now, if you press graph right now, or wait a minute, let's go back to our y equals. Go to your y equals and make sure there's nothing in your y equals, so clear that line out of there. Go to your y equals and clear the line out of your y equals. Okay? Now, if you hit graph, oh, I don't see any points. Okay? I know, because you didn't put the new ones in. Okay? So, why can't I see anything now? Right, the window doesn't fit the data. So I have to press zoom 9 every time I put a new set of data in so that the window will fit my points. Okay? So here's my scatter plot. All right, so first they said make a scatter plot. We did that. And then it says find the correlation coefficient and the equation of the line of best fit. Okay? So to find the line of best fit and the correlation coefficient, we're going to do stat over the calc and linear regression, number 4. Okay, and you can just press number 4 here if you want. And then we're going to put y1 there again. So alpha, trace, and y1. And then we're going to find it. Okay, so my equation for my line then is y equals negative 0.346x plus 106.4. Okay, that would be the equation for my line, and my correlation is negative 0.7. Okay. Now, notice 2 things, okay? The slope of my line is negative. The correlation coefficient is negative. But are they the same? No, okay? The slope is not the correlation coefficient. It's just if one of them is negative, then the other one is going to be negative. If one of them is positive, then the other one's going to be positive. Okay? So then if we press graph again, the line will show up there. Okay. All right. And then letter C here says predict the temperature when the rainfall is 86 millimeters. Okay. So we want to predict the temperature when the rainfall is, oh, wait a minute. Rainfall, that's RY, isn't it? That's Y, not X. So we got to try to find when y is equal to, what, 86 millimeters. So here's what we do. Take our calculator then, all right, and press trace. Okay? Now, first of all, the trace, it says plot 1 here, right? So we want to get to the line, all right? So I'm on the line here. I want to find when the line is at approximately as close to 88 as I can get. Okay. Or 86. Thank you, 86. So I want y to go to 86. So I'm going to keep going to the right till I get to as close to 86.0 as I can. Okay, so that would be right here. So it's approximately 59 degrees.
Wow. I was
All right.
I'll take it. Weather better off more than that.
Okay? Any questions about that then? All right, so I want you to do then, all right, so I got to look at this again, but right now then we've got what, about 15 minutes, okay? So start doing, I'm going to tell you which ones exactly we're going to do here in a minute, but start on number 7, and let me see here.